to run this session, then Rumi from the Man Company. If you're not aware, Man Company is one of those brands which have literally grown very, very strongly on collaborations. I actually discovered Rumi because one of our cohort members was from Dimension. He connected, and Rumi is literally the be all and all for doing this. So like, okay, let me just speak to her. And if you understand in the session when she'll walk us through Man Company, so Rumi leads marketing at Man Company. She's a brand marketing head. And she's done collaborations with Xiaomi, Vistara, Zivame, Rage Coffee, Jaguar, Stock Soho, pretty much every brand we all aspire to be part of, right? And when I asked her, how did this really happen? She's like, it's not rocket science. It could be done. You just need to have that thing or a process in place. And then you need to be openly collaborating together. That being said, I'm still not an expert at doing this. So I would like for us to first turn on your videos, right? And give a round of applause if we can put on our audio. So for Rumi to, and Rumi, welcome to Expert. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Sharad. And that was beautiful what you were talking about, collaborations. That, you know what, collaboration is, I think Sharad and I have been talking about it for a while, that collaboration just seems like a date, and not just an ordinary date. A collaboration is like a date that you would like to take for the wedding. So it better be a good date, right? Because you need, a good date so that you can show it off to your parents, or you can show it off even before the wedding that, what, I'm getting this person. So something that you can literally go around telling that, hey, I have done this, and you're not scared or shying away from saying it openly that I've collaborated with this brand. So it better be a thoughtful, in that sense. So collaboration, like Shara said, it's no rocket science, right? It's just a very, very keen understanding of who you are as a brand and what exactly do you want from the relationship. And if you are absolutely clear about it, then it's pretty simple to get collaborations in place. And I would hope that by the end of the session, you guys get enough ideas from my deck, and you're not scared of collaborations anymore. You're not scared of approaching somebody and asking that, hey, would you like to partner with me? I hope that's what happens till the end.
Perfect.
Great. So, Sharad, I will share my screen.
Yes.
And all of you can see this?
Yep, good.
Great. So I call it brand love for a reason, because what you try and do with collaborations is to just double the love for your brand, because now the love is not just with your customers, but also with the customers that you're going to acquire, whether it is new customer or a complementary customer that you're going to acquire by doing these kind of collaborations. So that's why I call it brand love. So let's start with keep looking at this entire presentation as a relationship, right? As Tinder. Keep looking at it that way, and you will know where I'm coming from. Okay. First of all, in a collaboration, always ask yourself, why are you doing this collaboration? Because you need to answer this question first to yourself in all honesty, that I am going into this relationship for what reason? What is your truth? And these are some of the things that I keep asking myself whenever I am approaching any brand, for that matter, whether that brand is somebody that I feel is at par with TMC, or somebody that I feel is highly aspirational, right? But do not get swayed away by all this shine and glimmer. Be very clear what you want from the relationship, and then you'll be able to make a better decision, right? So the first one is open, new, or complementary market. What I mean by that is, so say, for example, since I've been working with the Man Company for the past 3.5 years, so most of my examples are going to come from there. So say at the Man Company, my core audience is men who are within the age group of 26 to 35, right? Now, with the collaboration, when I say open new, that means I'm trying to collaborate with somebody who caters to the audience who is above 35 or below 25, right? So that's a new audience, but it's still a grooming audience, right? So it's a new market that I'm trying to acquire and get into my fold. By complementary market, it could be that I'm trying to approach absolutely a different gender altogether. I'm trying to approach females. It's a complementary market. And I am thinking, okay, how do I get this into my fold? which a beautiful example will come up later in the slide, and you'll understand that why I said this in the first slide itself. The second is awareness among new set of audience. Okay, so are you trying to open a market? Are you trying to create awareness, or are you trying to just make some money out of it? No matter what your reason is, it's justified, it's fine. Okay, but your content, your communication will keep changing depending what are you in it for. If you're in there for the money, then you don't need to waste a lot of time in doing social media collaboration or social media contest running, all of that. Why waste the time? Why waste the money? Why waste the energy on it? Because you're in there for the money. So then leave all the frills aside. You're just there, you make a quick buck, and then you're out of it. But if you're in it for an awareness perspective, then you need to start thinking a little bit more broadly, and not just offering discount will not do it. But you need to know why are you doing this collaboration, and no matter with whom you're doing it. The fourth one is open up customers' love for you. So sometimes at TMC, what we do is we feel that we should do this collaboration so that my customers understand that my brand knows me. Okay, TMC understands me, it loves me, and that's why they are doing this. So I'll give you an example of opening up customers' love for you. So say I partner with a brand which is into differently abled, which is catering to differently abled people, right? It may not be a direct complementary match to me, but if I know that my audience is somebody who is very inclusive in their approach, then they are going to love me if I'm going to go ahead and collaborate with a company which is run by differently able people. Right? It may not add to any sort of money in my bank, which is just fine. It's not a problem. The last but not the least is promoter costs. Again, I will explain this with an example. So every year, No Shave November, right? We collaborate with an NGO who are pioneer in prostate cancer awareness. Okay. Now, for men, I'm catering to men, right? And prostate cancer is something that is very, very, it's prevalent and very less talked about at the same time, right? But me collaborating with an NGO and together us talking about it and creating awareness about prostate cancer has got nothing to do with, again, money in the bank, has got nothing to do with selling the products, but it's all about promoting a cause, right? So we do that, but only during No Shave November month, right? Because it again becomes contextual, it is topical, and it's do good, right? In a way, it's do good. So it could be any of this could be your truth, right? But and there could be more, I'm sure there could be more, but these are my truth. So I hope that this will give you some sort of an idea how to go about it. This is again things that I answered myself before I started this collaborations for TMC. The first time that we thought, you know what, we have reached a certain level of the brand life cycle that we can open ourselves to collaboration now, right? So I wanted to be very clear in my head about who I am. And when I say I am, I mean who TMC is, okay? Who TMC is, and so that I am very clear what do I want out of this relationship. Okay, so first one is who am I, right? Each of the word is carefully chosen. I am not a grooming brand. I am not a premium grooming brand. I'm a premium lifestyle brand. Okay, that's what I want to establish myself as. I want to be known as a premium lifestyle brand. And that means the kind of collaboration that I would do, the kind of collaborators that I will look for, they will have to somewhere align with my personality of ki main kaun hu, right? The second is who am I talking to? Be very clear about who your TG is, and not just from collaboration perspective, but actually from any decision making when it comes to startup. Be very clear, because there are so many distractions out there. You will suddenly be like, ठीक है ना यार, इससे भी बात कर लेते, क्या पता वहां से भी धंधा आ जाए. Don't do that. Okay, be sharp, be bloody laser focused कि आपका बंदा कौन है, so clear that you can imagine that person in your head, okay, when you close your eyes. I'm talking to an urban male who is between an age group of 26 to 35. This person is not 22. This person is not 24. Because a man between the age group of 20 to 25, uska pura jeevan change ho jata hai, right? So I'm very clear that this guy is 26 and above and 35. Yahi mera range hai, okay? What do I want to establish myself as, right? I want to focus that I am not here for one product, okay? When I'm doing collaborations, unless, and so this obviously comes with a bit of a silver lining, that unless the collaboration is really shiny and gleamy, I will always do collaboration with focuses me as an overall grooming lifestyle brand and not just pushing on one single product. I won't do that. Okay. The fourth is, what do I want from the collaboration? This is a continuation of the previous slide. For me, any collaboration should either give me awareness or it should give me media mileage. That means I need free earned media out of it, right? Or it should connect me with the right set of audience. So it could be, your truth could be anything, right? But these are the things that I look for from collaboration point of view when I'm trying to take the brand to the next level. Okay. The last one is, what is my brand positioning? And basically that means that what differentiates you from the other brand. And this is something that people will constantly ask you, and you got to have a good answer for it. So for me, it's one word. I'm a gentleman brand. Okay. I don't have a huge, like an essay written on it. I want to keep it very clear. One word difference kya hai? I'm a gentleman brand. That's my difference in the repertoire of so many male grooming brands that you will see around me. Okay. And now that I've said this word, if you do get a chance, look at all the content, that is out there of TMC, and you will realize what I mean by this. Why do I call myself a gentleman brand? Because the nuances, the values that comes from a gentleman of today is somebody who is, well put together, somebody who is kind, somebody who is chivalrous, somebody who is honest, somebody who is self-aware, right? All these characteristics comes from the word gentleman, and that's my unique platform. So that means the collaborations that I do, they have to enhance, for the lack of better word, my gentlemanliness, in that way. So they have to be an enabler to who I am right now. So whether that's a brand who is lesser than me, equal to me, or above me, doesn't matter. As long as in some way they are acting as an enabler to me, I'm good with that, right?
Rumi, do you
Again,
want
I
to
keep
also just,
talking.
sorry, do you also want to just
Yes.
ask any questions people have? Just maybe you want to answer just before on the slide. Maybe it'll be easier for any questions people
Yeah,
might
sure,
have.
please.
Yes, raise hands and you can. I think this is very important uh, for that. Or it's all good? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? Okay, perfect. Yes, Rumi, sir. We can go ahead.
Great. Okay. So I keep saying that collaboration is like a relationship, right? Like that date that you want to go take to the wedding. So before you say yes to that guy or girl, ask yourself 5 questions. Is the brand a match? A lot of times it happens to me also. A lot of times it happens to a lot of people in my company also, that, somebody comes our way and it is like a dream, right? कि यार यार इसके साथ तो काम करना ही है. But when you actually sit down and think about it, you're like, yeah, काम तो करना है, but it's not really a match for my brand. It's not making sense. What is happening here? Am I just getting starstruck? Okay, and that happens. That happens a lot, and it takes a lot of guts to say no. Also, sometimes I have made mistakes as well, where I said, "कि नहीं यार करते हैं ना, करते हैं," because you're just so taken away by the whole celebrity status of that brand that you get blown away. My request to you would be, take that 2 minutes and ask yourself, is the brand really a match? Yeah, what is happening to you right now? Okay. Second is TG a match? Now, suddenly, if I go ahead and collaborate with a kids brand just because the kids brand comes to you with so many amazing ideas and offers, again, don't get swayed away, because all these questions that you're going to answer for yourself will keep reminding you, will act like a lens or the filter for you to make the right decision and come and say, yes, ha, ye hai. Okay. What is my intent or expectation from the collaboration? Because it's end to end, right? when you're doing a collaboration, the idea always is to keep revisiting that collaborator and keep doing it over and over again. Correct? So if that is the intent here, then you'll be very clear right in the beginning of the relationship. What do you want out of it? Okay. Sometimes I just want to have fun. Okay. When I'm collaborating with somebody, because it seems like a super fun brand, and I know I will go out and do some great quirky content. Sometimes my drive is just that, which is fine, because you need to tell the partner also that this is your expectation. So the partner is very clear, "Ki, acha, theek hai. This is what she wants out of the relationship slash collaboration. And I am agreeing to that. Okay. So it's not all in your head. What is the mood I want to create? Sometimes the drive is just to make money and just say, so I don't care about the mood that I want to create. But sometimes I get a brand, and we both crack something amazing. And I know I want to go out there and shout it from the top of the roof that, okay, we both have come together and done this collaboration. So it's celebratory, right? So the mood will also depend. A lot of times I do collaborations, keeping the contextual aspect of it in mind. So what I mean by that is that for Father's Day, the brands who are complementing my business. So say, for example, somebody who makes photo frames. Okay. Why can't I collaborate with them for Father's Day? Because then I can do a sort of a situation where I run a contest, the people send me pictures, and then this collaborator, he will take the printout of that, put it in like a nice frame, photo frame, and courier it along with my products to the person, right? Now, that's how the mood now is absolutely different, because I am celebrating Father's Day, plus there is a memory that I'm trying to create by not just pushing product, but actually catching on to the mood of that month, right? So a lot of times we do this where we keep the topical aspect of the month in focus when we are trying to collaborate with different brands. So in this photo frame section, it is really not about making money. It's just about creating brand love, right? The last one is, what is the positioning, whether perceived or otherwise? So this comes back again to you getting blown away by the celebrity status of the brand. Okay. What is the position that you're trying to create here for yourself? Right? Do you think that if TMC suddenly collaborates with, say, for example, um, a royal stag, okay, do you think that your imagery, your brand imagery of TMC will come down or go up? Answer that question to yourself, and you will know what I mean by this, right? Because I can't have my imagery get diluted just because I'm getting blown away by something. It has to be an enabler, right? So the positioning of the brand that you're approaching somewhere have to fix like a puzzle to your positioning. It has to happen. So that means you need to understand not just your positioning supremely clearly, but also of the collaborator, and ask those questions so that they can explain you in a very, very crystal clear one word that this is my positioning. And then you sit and think, okay, now can we work together? Will this relationship work? Guys, is there any question? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next slide.
All good. Thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Now we are coming to how to propose. Okay. Again, lots of mistakes have been made by me, by my team members initially, when because it's always scary, right, to start the collaboration, because you don't know how to go about it. You don't know who the right person is to talk to. You don't know if you're just writing mails which is reaching no one. Okay, that happens. But these are some of the learnings that I'm sharing with you, that how I went about it after so many mistakes done, so that maybe something will, really spark some idea in you कि हाँ ठीक है ये वाला approach try करते हैं. I always prefer to find them on LinkedIn. Trust me, it's important because it's official, it's professional. Uh, I get a little put off when I straight away get a WhatsApp message that, hey, I'm this brand, let's collaborate. I find it very unprofessional, right? So I took a premium account on LinkedIn, and I made sure that I do some study about the brand before I approach them, because that shows that you are interested in the person, right? Again, I'm going back to this example again and again, because I feel that if you start thinking like this, a lot of things will become clear to you. So when you're approaching a guy or a girl and you know about their interest in already, right? You'll be able to have a better conversation. Okay, if you're taking that person out for dinner and you know that this person, you have done your due diligence, right? And you know that this person is somebody who loves Japanese food, and you surprise that person by taking that person to a Japanese restaurant, that shows that you made an effort to actually know about that person, right? Similarly, when you're approaching a brand, do your due diligence. See the kind, some interesting campaign that they must have done, some interesting award that they must have won, some interesting webinar that the marketing head must have attended as a panelist, or must be there as a speaker, right? These kind of due diligence will always help you in breaking that ice, because you will straight up start with, hey, congratulations, I saw this campaign and I read about it, say in I don't know, Financial Express, and it was wonderful. What do you think the person is going to say? Ignore you? No, the person will at least say a thank you, right? And that's your door. The door has now at least cracked open a little bit, because he at least responded, or she at least responded. And that's when you say that, hey, I would love to talk about it more, to understand how did you go about it, so can we get on a quick chat whenever it's comfortable, right? So now the door has opened slightly bit more, because this person is now thinking that, hey, he or she is interested in my brand, want to understand my journey. Chalo theek hai, 5 minute ka time to de hi dete hain. You start there, and then you talk about your brand, and then you take it to the next level, right? Always make sure that when you are approaching somebody, either that person is an alliance manager. Now, a lot of companies don't have that. But lately, an alliance manager, because alliances, collaborations has become so important that people have started treating this as a separate vertical altogether, like us. So there's an alliance manager. So find that. LinkedIn is the best place to find it, right? If the alliance manager is not there in that company, then straight go to the marketing head. Do not go proposing to the junior guys, because it will lead you nowhere. It led me nowhere for a very long time. Okay, because I thought it was easy, right? The junior managers are easy to approach. They will be more willing to talk to you because they have more time, but they are not the decision makers. So you will talk to them, and trust me, it will lead nowhere, because this person does not have the authority, or sometimes the courage to actually bring it in front of their bosses in a lot of cases. So it's just becomes a fancy of the junior person, and it will lead you nowhere. So avoid that. It's easy to approach them, but avoid it. Um, Most of the time what happens is that, now this is something that when I get approached by collaborators, I get confused about, because when I ask them that, you know what, can you tell me in one line, what is your business? In one line, my business is that I am a premium men's grooming D2C brand, right? That tells you that I am digital first, right? It tells you that I am a startup. It tells you that I am a premium brand. It tells you that I only cater to men. It tells you that I'm a grooming brand for men. So, in one sentence, you know a lot. You have a lot of information. A lot of people go on and on trying to explain their business, which just then tells me that they don't know what their business is. So have one line prepared. Okay, because whenever you approach somebody and you get a chance to talk to them, they will ask you this: explain your business, right? Don't make your business sound complicated, even if it is complicated. But please don't. Your job is to make it sound simple. Okay. It might be the most difficult metaversy thing. Okay. But you got to make it so easy that this person is, "Acha, okay, I get that." Because this person does not have time, right? So you better utilize it to the best of your capability. Always have a pitch deck ready of what is your business and what is your ask. No more than 4 or 5 slides. Nobody has that kind of time, right? Do not put in like an essay every slide, but have a pitch deck handy. Okay. Because when you're talking to somebody and say that somebody has warmed up to your idea, he or she will definitely tell you, hey, here is my email ID. Could you quickly drop me a pitch deck? Now, if you tell them, I will, and you do that the next day, by then the conversation is already out and gone from their mind, because they have moved on to 100 different things. But if you have a pitch deck handy, you'll be able to send it into the inbox in like 2 minutes, and then Then in again 2 minutes they are reminded कि अरे हाँ इस बंदे से बात हुआ था, अभी pitch deck भी आ गया. Okay, देख ही लेते हैं because he's still in the mood, right? He still hasn't gotten over the mood that you created on the call. Okay, so you need to keep hammering that, correct? Habit handy. Always remember these people do not have a lot of time, right? So don't write long emails, scrolls after scrolls, trying to explain what you want. Bullets, always bullets, right? And this is something that I do a lot when I'm sending a mail to a prospective collaborator that I would love to collaborate with. I do not write long mails. I just write a short paragraph and then 5 key things that I want from them, and then with my name and my number, and done. Okay. I know it might sound that hey, ye to hygiene hai, but a lot of times it has happened that I have got a collaboration, because what happens is you create one pitch deck, right? And you create like a standard mailer. Sometimes you forget to change the name dear ke baad ka naam. Ab bhul jate ho. Okay. And this happens. It has happened. Not to me, but I mean, not by me, but to me. It has happened. Okay. Where somebody wrote Dear Gaurav or something. And I'm thinking, what is this person talking about? I mean, I'm reading the mail because it's sheer copy paste. Na? नीचे मुझे पता चल गया कि अच्छा Gaurav is actually the marketing head of one of my competition. Now in my head, I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, तुम competition से ही बात कर लो. Now I'm done, right? I am through. It's like, again, it's like you want to send a message to Tina saying, hey, Tina, let's meet up for dinner. And instead of Tina, you write Pooja. And then Tina is like, Bhar mein jao. You don't even know my name. It's as simple as that, right? So I was put off that you don't even feel that I'm special enough. And you're writing the same thing to everybody. So then I'm just one of many. So I don't care about you anymore. So be very careful. Okay. This happens a lot than you actually realize. So take that extra 30 seconds, but make sure that the brand is correct. Make sure that dear ke baad ka naam is correct. Make sure that you have given your email ID, your phone number. This is hygiene, basic, but trust me, it happens more than you know, where I get a mail and I am blown away by the proposition. And I'm like, okay, how do I contact this person? Because I don't have any number, because the person has forgotten to put the number. Okay. And I'm like, okay, chalo, mail likh dungi. And then I forget. Okay, I moved on to something else and I've forgotten about it. Okay, acha, theek hai. But at that moment, if I had the number, I would have, right? I would have straight up just called and say, hey, this is brilliant. Let's talk about it. So make sure that these basic hygiene things are in place. You put the link of your website, you put the link of your social media if you have a presence, your YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Because in any collaboration, people would like to know anything and everything that is there to know about you, which is open there in public. So have that. Okay. Um, Writing to the mail ID on the web. Okay, this is something that I have realized after doing so many mistakes, that you go to the website, you see the contact us page, you see an email ID, and you're like, "Achha, theek hai, sahi aapne ke paas pahunch jayega." It reaches nowhere. I have done this mistake more than you know, and trust me, that's not the right approach. Don't do that, because mostly it goes to that email ID which nobody ever checks, or it's an email ID that is checked by the CRM team, which has got to do nothing with anything. Okay, so don't waste your time on that. This, I think I've already covered, that always appreciating the recent campaign or a PR coverage, something that they have won recently, or an amazing collaboration that they must have done, which you saw it in the news or, on the Instagram handle, because that shows that you are somebody who's following them on Instagram, right? So that's always a great icebreaker, that, hey, I saw that you had done this collaboration with X brand and I checked it out on your Instagram. But the competition that you did on Facebook, I thought it was brilliant. Okay. That shows that you have done so much study that you know one competition that I did on Facebook and you even remember that. Okay. Take some time, but do all of this. Any question, guys, or we can move on to the next slide.
So I think there's Sagar has a question. Sagar, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Hi. So Rumi, just wanted to understand. I might have missed initial 5 minutes or 2 minutes of the lecture. So trying to understand what type of the collaborations could be. I mean, is that been done in the first slides?
No, it's coming up.
It's there in the next slide.
Yes.
Okay, because to understand these points, we need to interlink few things. So I think I thought some of the points would be
Examples are still coming up. It's in the upcoming slides.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one more question. Karan,
Yes.
yeah, unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I'm actually in a very loud area, so I'm like sorry for that. But what I wanted to ask is that if, if I don't get time to to get into all this collaboration, then if I need to hire somebody for this, what is the how do I hire these people, and what would be the basic necessities which I should look into?
Um, I think the most basic thing is this person has to be articulate enough. Okay. Articulation in alliances is extremely crucial because then you would know this person will not go around in circles, right? Will come straight to the point. I think it's important for this person to be eloquent, right? A good command in English, not just in speaking, but writing too. Okay. A previous experience of alliances may not be important. What is important is that this person knows how to build relationship and be street smart a little bit. I think more than hard work is a lot of street work, a lot of street smartness that alliance manager needs to have, because you need to be so quick on your feet, right? Say that you have gone with a certain idea of collaboration, but this person says, hey, how about this way? This person needs to be somebody who can quickly think on the feet and say, हाँ ठीक है, ये करते हैं या इस पे इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं, right? So when you are interviewing these people, whether it's a fresher, whether it's somebody that you do find with enough experience, please make sure that they have great command of language, and also that somebody who's good at research, because a lot of work in alliances is just pure research. Okay, and you can't shy away from that. And a lot of my examples will tell you that also, because you need to do a lot of background homework before you approach a person, and the person cannot be somebody who is like, यार मेरे को तो ये सब पढ़ना लिखना research करना पसंद नहीं है. It won't work at all. So please make sure of these things, and the rest should be fine. Obviously, your business knowledge is somebody that you will give anyway, right? So I'm not getting into that because I'm guessing that's hygiene, that's basic. But look at these things critically. I hope that helps.
I think there's
Got it.
one
Thank
question from Aditya at Canal. Yeah.
Hi. I just wanted to understand how do we go about, when you are trying to reach to a brand for any kind of collaboration, and apart from whatever the deliverables are there for from both the sides, they ask you a basic amount because they have reached an A type of segment of audience. They have that kind of reach. So there is a fixed cost, and then there is a variable around it, that whether it's giveaways, whether it's any kind of shout out on the social media. So do you think
Yes.
that kind of collaboration should be explored, considering that we guys are a small brand and we are not that
Right.
big where we can pay upfront?
So I'll give you my TMC example again. Okay, I think most of my examples come from there. I joined TMC 3.5 years ago, and this company is 6 years old. Okay, so we were fairly new, right? When I started doing collaborations, trust me when I say this, never done a paid collaboration from day
Absolutely.
one.
Yeah.
Never. Okay. Because once you open that door, na, you can never close it. Okay. Because what will happen is that once you do a paid collaboration, somewhere or the other, that news spreads in the market that this brand is ready to do paid stuff. You can never close it back. Okay. And this is something that I realized very early when I was trying to do collaborations and struggling to get people, because बहुत आसान है ना ये बोल देना कि यार पैसे दे तो कर देंगे. Any
Yeah.
brand will tell you that.
Correct.
Don't fall for it. But as a marketing person, you always have to make things larger than it is. It's not lying. Okay, it's not lying, but it's just making it sound fancier than it is. Okay. White like all बुला लो यार. ठीक है. So though I was very small as a brand back then, I did not have a great social media presence like I have right now, right? I think at that moment we had like 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, currently we have about 112,000 subscribers on YouTube. So now I can talk the big game. But back
Yeah.
then I couldn't. But what I could tell them was things like men's grooming industry कितनी बड़ी है. Okay, कितने कम players हैं यहाँ पे. उसमें भी कितने कम D2C players हैं यहाँ पे who started as a men's grooming brand. So and I can tell them about the numbers of where this category is going in the next 5 years, 10 years. So if they collaborate with me now, I am going to become big super soon, and I will remember what they did for me. Okay. And then I'm going to carry that relationship. I won't forget them. Right. So I had to show them the bigger picture always, every single time, repetitively, irritatingly so. Okay. But I had to keep telling this that look at my growth. I started like 3 साल पहले शुरू किया था हमने. ओके. 3 साल में देखो कि मेरे नंबर्स कहाँ पर है. 3 साल में देखो मैंने सोशल मीडिया कहाँ से कहाँ बना दिया. ओके. Look at, and a lot of times I send them free products also. Why don't you try my products? You know the packaging is good, you know the box is good, you know the service is good, the distribution is good, the delivery is nice, the whole experience is super amazing. Why won't you like to share that with your set of audience? And a lot of times even that helped. Okay, because I knew that once they receive my dabba, they're gonna love me. Okay, I knew that. तो कभी वो भी यूज किया, right? Lot of times I also talked about my own background, say, so that they can build a relationship with me at a deeper level, and not just as a brand director of some company, but as Rumi, who is a professional of marketing and advertising for the past 13 years, right? So they trust me then, right? Multiple cheeses hai. Sometimes you have to go beyond to build a relationship. Okay. But it comes in handy here.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect, Rumi. We can move forward. Yeah.
Sure. So yes, from here onwards, we shall look into some of the examples of what we have done at TMC. Okay. These are all the stuff that has been done in the last 3 saal, 3.5 saal. Okay. So Xiaomi, this was very interesting. So this is something that we heard, that Xiaomi is coming out with MI Beard Trimmer 1C. Okay. Now, this happened during the pandemic. Okay. Now, during the pandemic, what was happening, right? A lot of men were, taking care of their beard or their grooming at home. Simple, because आप salon नहीं जा सकते हो. Correct. घर पे आप अपना ध्यान रख रहे हो, whether you're trimming because you want to look good on the Zoom calls, work calls, whatever, video calls, right? We learned that Xiaomi is getting into this. And we approached Xiaomi saying that, hey, we also are launching a couple of DIY products, because like the way you are trying to catch the tailwind, right? So are we. Okay. What can we do together? Okay. So Xiaomi told us that they are planning an exclusive launch with Flipkart for this beard trimmer onesie. Okay. So we're like, okay, great. We are on Flipkart as well. Decent enough relationship with the category manager of men's grooming. We're like, okay, how about we do this together? So they said that there is, on Flipkart, it's thoda difficult hai. If you guys come back with an idea, then let's talk about it. Like, okay. We gave this a name called Salon at Home. Okay. First of all, because it was contextual, pandemic time. We also learned that a lot of people are using my products at home now and not really going to the salon and asking कि अच्छा ठीक है TMC product use करके मुझे shave दे दो या जो भी कर दो. We launched DIY face care kit. We launched a DIY foot care kit just because people wanted to look good at home. So we went back to Xiaomi with this idea and with this box. Saying कि ये बनाते हैं my products, which is beard oil and beard wash, क्योंकि ट्रिमर करने से पहले बियर्ड को तो धोना पड़ेगा, राइट? अब स्ट्रेट अप थोड़ी ना ट्रिमर कर लोगे. दे आर लाइक, हाँ, दैट मेक्स सेंस, इट्स कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. आई एम लाइक, ग्रेट, ओके, सो वी हैव गॉट हियर अ बियर्ड ऑयल, वी हैव गॉट अ बियर्ड वॉश. ये करने के बाद लोग ट्रिमर तो यूज करना ही है, सो हाउ अबाउट वी क्रिएट अ बॉक्स लाइक दिस. And then we said, Shami was very clear about one thing, okay? That we won't, I might be sharing a little something with you guys, which I should not be, but please keep it to yourself, hopefully. So Shami told us that we won't be selling this on our website, okay? And it happens a lot. That bigger brands tell us कि वो अपने website पे नहीं बेचेंगे, which is fine, because here I am trying to punch above my weight, right? Shami is a big player. Trying to punch above my weight, I'm ready to give it to that. कि ठीक है, आप मत बेचो अपने website पे, but can you at least give shout outs on your social media? Can you do that much? They're like, yes, we can do that. Like, great. Because if you're going to do 2, I will do 10. पर अब 2 तो कर दो, because उनका 2 मेरा 10 के बराबर होगा. Okay. So we created these boxes and we started selling them on my website. We also listed them on Flipkart. We got it placed in some of the offline spaces that we had. And they gave us a couple of stories. We gave them a lot of shout outs on the day that they launched it on Flipkart, so that they feel कि अच्छा ठीक है इसके वजह से भी तो सेल में हेल्प हुआ होगा, whatever little, right? Because Shami audience, my audience, it's a match. Premium, it's a match. I am here trying to uthao fayda in some way of their reach, right? Because Shami goes crazy when they are launching a new product, and I just wanted to uh, dip my beak into it. उतना भी काफी है हमारे लिए. So this was something supremely interesting. I think, Aditya, are you raising your hand?
Yes, I just want to
Yes.
understand in this kind of collaboration, firstly, a great packaging. How does the commercials work in terms of production? Because there is a box that is being made.
Yes.
Does that get split equally between both the parties? How is the revenues being shared? Because is it going to Xiaomi and then you divide the revenues equally? So if you could also highlight, give some insights on that.
In this deal, we created the boxes ourselves because we have that capability of our factory. This is something that Xiaomi does not have, and I knew that. Okay, so that came in handy for me, right? Because when they saw this dabba and they saw that I am capable of creating wooden boxes with etching on it, they were. So you got to make the सामने वाला person also little bit क्या कहते हैं इसको that this person is going out of the way to do something for me, या मुझे भी थोड़ा कर देना चाहिए, right? So somewhere they also felt that थोड़ा सा बुरा guilty अंदर से, अरे यार, they have gone out of the way to do this, what can we do for them? Okay. The revenue part was like this, that this trimmer was given to us. Okay. The assembly was done here in our warehouse, right? And once we started selling these boxes, so then the kharcha was divided post obviously dividing my money that has already gone into making this dabba, right? You never share your margins with anybody, right? You only talk pure MRP, correct?
Okay.
Because once you start sharing your margins, your cost, then the wiggle room of discussion, of deliberation goes down pretty fast. This is a downward spiral if they get to know कि exactly क्या cost पड़ता है, कभी वो share नहीं करना है, right? So थोड़ा बढ़ा के ही बोलना है तो बोलना है, okay? And then it was divided 50-50 between both of us. We signed a contract that we will be making 2,500 boxes for the first round. If we sell off everything, then we will get to the next round of production, because I was very wary of the fact that ऐसा ना हो कि डब्बे बना के मैं warehouse में उसका अचार बना रही हूँ, right?
Correct.
Because then it's going to take up my space, and what am I going to do with these products if they don't sell out? But Shami was very clear कि 2,500 तो आराम से निकल जाएगा minimum, right? And I have to also think about my MOQ, correct? So MOQ के हिसाब से 2,500 just made sense. So that was the deal. And plus, more than that, it was social media where they did 2, I did 10, right? They realized that how much we are also trying to push their trimmer, talk about their trimmer on my social media, correct? And we don't have a trimmer. Even now, we don't have a trimmer, right? We are not into appliances. So they were not scared कि कल को अगर TMC ने launch कर दिया तो क्या होगा? Because that was very clear in their head, right? So that even helps. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. One more question from Mahua, and then yes.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, lovely session. So basically, not in this company, but in my previous organization, alliances was one of the key things. I was CMO and online business e-commerce head for Shaze. It's a luxury brand. Yeah, and I had okay. I had an alliance manager, a very seasoned alliance manager, Jay, one of my best people. And so much so, because we wanted to talk to the luxury consumer, I had once hired a French lady, so that when she goes to some place, everybody is wowed. Yeah. So at any point in time, we approached about 60, 100 alliances. So the banks, of course, the big hotels where we wanted to display our entire hosting collection, our entire decanters and brewers, or a premium coffee brand, which would go along with our products. A lot of that, of course, shout out on social media. But the one problem that I had is the effort that goes into one alliance versus the scale up that comes from that alliance. It was never adding up. And the reason I'm giving the name of the person, he was one of my best people, Jay. He's a great guy. And absolutely, like you said, street smart. He was, the street smart guy. He could approach anybody. Yeah.
Right.
But and we were doing a lot of alliances. Yeah. Like I said, the international banks, the big hotels, the Soho Club, everywhere, because anywhere we could get premium consumers, and we were having our hosting collection. We were doing some kind of alliances which worked, and of course, social media and all we were getting, but we never scaled the business. Yeah, in terms of the effort versus the business, so much so that later I lost interest. Of course, we always had an alliance manager, but I lost the interest as a CMO. I lost interest in it. इसमें तो scale नहीं हो रहा है. That is the question I wanted to ask you.
Okay. So when I started doing collaborations, I'm guessing I must be doing like one a quarter. Okay, because it was difficult to get people initially to actually work with you. Now we do about anywhere between 20 to 30 a month. Okay. I think effort versus ROI, I don't know if this is the right answer or not, but I'll tell you from my experience what I do. Sometimes I know that this relationship is going to be, again, I keep saying relationship because it just puts things into perspective. Sometimes this relationship is going to be quick and dirty. Why to put in so much effort? Okay, you just go, you say कि ठीक है, आपको करना है, मुझे भी करना है, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि इससे धंधा आने वाला है. I don't put in a lot of effort in doing social media, doing extra stuff like giving them my own assets on my website. I don't do all of that. उनको discount coupon दिया, उनसे discount coupon लिया, काम खत्म. Okay, not every relationship needs the kind of investment that.
But do you get a lot of ROI? So I just budging in from your sales relationship, from whatever sales commercial you're putting up. Do you get that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Xiaomi, I was working at a different level of aspiration, right? So that's why I went to this relationship building took about 6 to 8 months. It was a 6 to 8 month long collaboration, but I was ready to invest my time because it's Xiaomi. So I was ready to give it my all and ready to go far and beyond to do whatever I can, right? Because this relationship required that kind of effort. Not every relationship does. Not every relationship needs to be looked at a level of all benchmarking, Sara tick point, क्यों करना है? Some of them is just pure sales. I do that. And ROI, yes, we do get it. But a lot of times we say no also. The problem is we say yes all the time. Learn to say no also. Don't waste your time on a brand which you know कि ठीक है यार, इससे पैसे तो बन जाएंगे, लेकिन लोग हम दोनों को साथ में देखेंगे तो क्या पसंद करेंगे? नहीं करेंगे, छोड़ो हटो, लेट्स नॉट गेट स्वेड अवे बाय दिस. बट समटाइम्स यू लाइक कि ठीक है, इसमें पैसे अच्छे बन जाएंगे, ब्रांड भी ठीक ठाक है, ऑल राइट फाइन. I think what we end up doing is we start treating everything equally and then we screw up a life. I think we need to stop doing that. Maybe that could be one of the reasons why you got exhausted by it, because you were trying to give your all to everything. Maybe it didn't require it. I at least don't do that.
Perfect. I think we want to move on.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Rumi, want to move on? I think we'll have to make time. We have a lot to cover.
Yeah, I know. Okay, moving on to the next example. Vistara, one of my favorite airline. And when we approached Vistara, the idea was very simple. In this one, no fancy dabba, nothing. It was just Club Vistara points. I really wanted to get into the loyalty point structure of Club Vistara. I really wanted to do that. So what we did was that whenever you buy a product by the Man company, you're gonna earn Club Vistara points, which you can then go and redeem it to get discounts on flights, cost, all of that. And that is something that we did, and that's it. There was no social media component into it, nothing like that. But it really worked in my favor, because who doesn't want Club Vistara points, right? Who doesn't want that? And instead of giving straight up discount coupon, this really helped because people were buying my products, people were getting into getting Vistara benefits as well, right? Vistara in turn did the same thing, right? So they also added me in their loyalty business, and saying that, you can redeem the points, you can buy the Man Company products. So the mailers that they were sending out, they also put like a small shout out for me in the mailer. So that much we were able to crack, which was good enough because Vistara has a huge customer database. So even a chota shout out in a mailer is also good enough. So I was happy with that much. So this is something that we did for a pretty long time, and it did not take a lot of time, effort from both the sides, but it was a long collaboration, like a year long. This is very interesting. So this, what happened is, what we realized about a couple of years ago, that TMC is not just for self-consumption, but it's also something that people, women, a lot of women are using my products to gift it on special occasions, right? And during Valentine's Day ke aaspas, we were like, okay, where do I get women audience? Okay, because I don't have women audience, not on my Instagram, not on my Facebook, not on my customer database. I would barely have like 2% at that time. So we're like, okay, if I'm going to talk to women, I need to talk to a brand who caters to women. Otherwise, to ye kaise business banega? How do I make myself a gifting destination? Women come looking at TMC to buy products for their men. Ye kaise hoga? And then we are like, you know what? And it's just something that happened during the discussion, that if we are facing this, so I'm sure even women must be facing this, right? I mean, women-oriented brands must be facing the same problem, won't they? Ki agar if they want men to come on their channel, on their website to buy products, unke paas men nahi, mere paas women nahi. Okay, so we approached Zivame, I think about a month prior to actual Valentine's Day, because generally during topical time, एक महीना पहले alliances close हो जाते हैं. That's what I learned. So most of the times I have said no to the brands, or the brands have said no to me when I've approached them way too close to the date. They're like, अरे यार बहुत लेट हो गया, एक महीना पहले आना था. ये सुनते सुनते मुझे लगा अब से एक महीना पहले ही जाऊंगी सबके पास. तो एक महीना पहले I went to Zivame and saying कि यार we are facing this issue. Are you facing this issue? So they're like, हाँ. Matlab, I also want men to come here and buy lingerie and gift it on Valentine's Day to women. I'm like, great. Let's solve each other's problem. I will send you men. I will send you men. You send me women, and let us both get happy this Valentine's Day. So this one was a lot of fun social media, from both our sides. And that's the first one that went out, was this opposites attract. Okay, because here the brands are pretty opposite. So you would remember that in my first slide, I was talking about, am I opening new customer or I am acquiring complementary customers? So this is new customer. I was trying to acquire women. And now from 2%, our women, base have reached to about 20%. By doing things like this constantly. So with Zivame, I think we did twice in a row. 2 years constantly. So they were putting interesting posts. We were putting interesting posts. Chivalry meets its sweetheart is something that Zivame had put up. So it was a lot of brand love, and plus a lot of good adla badli of customer base that we both are catering to. Tag your bay, express your heart out, get 1,000 voucher from Zivame, right? So we both are trying to do that each other's taki एक दूसरे के लोग मेरे पास आ जाए और वैलेंटाइंस डे पे गिफ्ट दे. And then I complimented this because they were not going to give me any of their own spaces on their app, right? Which is fine. लेकिन अगर ये करने से I am hoping that I'm going to get their audience, then the communication needs to continue on my website as well. So on the website, I had put up a banner, continuing this conversation so that the journey does not get broken anywhere in between. So yeah, that was the deal with them. Yes, Udita.
Yeah, so I had a question. Basically, first I wanted to know that which part of your journey were you able to partner with these big brands? Because I'm just wondering what is stopping, like, let's say Zivame, once you've approached them, and firstly, like you mentioned, the ways to get in touch with them, did those ways work for these big brands as well? Because if you did it just when you were starting out, like the position that I am in currently, I'm not sure how seriously they would take me and why they wouldn't go with a much bigger brand, even if we are giving them, let's say, this male audience. What's stopping them from doing that with a much bigger brand that has a bigger male audience? And like, how convince them?
When I was starting out. Okay, it did not, and it wouldn't have happened also. Zivame happened about a year ago. Okay, a year, 2 years ago. So 2 years in continuation. it's always important that you see with Zivame, I went with them with a problem that they didn't even know it existed for them until then. It was like a light bulb moment for them because it was a light bulb moment for us also. कि यार लड़कियां कहाँ से लाएं हम? We have worked so much in getting 1000 लड़की, अब लड़की इधर से आएगी. So like, okay, let's go to a brand जिसके पास सिर्फ लड़कियां ही हैं. Okay, and let's do this. Zivame is one example. I'm sure and trust me, during this time, I was also thinking Tanishq, and I stopped myself and I told myself, don't be stupid. Tanishq क्यों करेगा तुम्हारे साथ? उसके पास क्या और brand की कमी पड़ रही है, right? So I stopped myself. I'm like, नहीं, वहां तक तो नहीं पहुंच सकते. But Zivame is also a digital brand, right? I need to also think that. Correct. I have a digital brand, my digitally native brand. So my collaborations, mostly I would try and do with somebody who is digitally native. And Zivame, we figured out the person who was the right one because a lot of networking helps. Okay. Because you put yourself out there so much on LinkedIn that somewhere or the other networking ban jata hai ki acha theek hai, this person that I used to work with knew that person and that person knew this person, then I'm like, acha theek hai, can you please put me in touch with that person? It helps. And here also the same thing happened. So the person who I was talking to then was somebody who was my client about 6-7 years ago when I was working with Lolintas. Okay. And then I remembered, okay, it's the same person, but I couldn't have approached her because she'll be like, Tum kono? And she would have remembered me, right? But so I contacted my old boss and I said, can you please put me in touch with this one? He put me in touch with somebody, that somebody and somebody. So suddenly aisa laga to this person ki, acha theek hai, she has come via some grapevine, chalo baat to kar hi lete hain. और एक बार बात की और प्रॉब्लम बताया तो दे लाइक हाँ ये तो प्रॉब्लम है ठीक है okay let's help each other out because I just opened a new avenue, right? And if by that they were able to make 1,000 rupee, then that 1,000 rupee is something that they wouldn't have made it if I wasn't there. So any money is good money.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Rumi, you want there's one more question from Country Bean Aishwarya. You want to take that or you want to move faster also? I just want to make sure we keep time.
Yeah, we are. We're behind time. Aishwarya, can we connect like in the end?
Yeah, we'll come back, Aishwarya and Prathamesh. We'll just take the question later. I just want to complete with the.
All right, then let's start. Rage Coffee. This was pretty simple. There's something that we did just recently. We have a caffeine series, which is curated by with Ayushmann Khurrana, and he is a brand ambassador and a brand investor. So we approached Rage Coffee. We have been trying to partner with coffees for so long, it's not even funny. And how many people have said no? nahi karna hai. But Rage Coffee people were very nice, and we just wanted to start with something very simple with that. So as you see, face wash was rupees 349 is free of cost with every purchase of Rage Coffee, right? It's pretty straightforward, and we did this because of margins. Obviously, I have to be a little smart about that. I can't give away my product, which is like super expensive or anything, right? So can't do that. Hey, Prathamesh, hi.
Yeah, Prathamesh,
can you hear me?
Absolutely, Rumi. Hi, loving a session here.
How are you?
I am doing great. I'm traveling in Bombay, so cab mein hu aapka session le raha hu. So Sharat, Rumi and I also know each other.
Great,
expert as well. Yeah.
Prathamesh was sweet enough to give us a lot of coupon codes to buy Licious products on a discounted price. And he spoke so much about food on that call that we all just got hungry. We're like, "Achha, theek hai, band karo ye. Abhi khana khane jate."
Wow.
So, Rumi, my question here. One, how do you evaluate the success metric? I heard about Xiaomi where you got a shout out on social media. Obviously, engagements, impressions you count. But like this is a problem where I think prioritization, where from Baggett also Mahua also spoke. मेरे पास सिर्फ एक पार्टनरशिप का बंदा है. We get hundreds of. So how do we evaluate कि किसको prioritize करें and what are the success metrics that you look at?
Success metric is something that is there in the presentation right in the end.
Okay.
So if you stay till then,
I will definitely.
Okay. So I will move on to the next one. Yeah, I was saying that with coffee, we have been trying to crack something for a very long time. Finally, with Rage Coffee, we did something pretty simple, but now this has really worked. So we're going to continue doing this. This was something very interesting. So Almo contacted us saying that, and I had no idea about Almo at that moment of time. And I read about it. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. And we had just launched an intimate wash. And we thought, okay, that's beautiful, right? Because here is a brand who is selling boxes, underwear, whatever you may call it. And intimate hygiene just goes so beautifully and with the product. And we both are fairly new. We both are startups, so we both gave each other a lot of space on our website, through mailers, through. So we went all out with this one, and our intimate hygiene was just flew. It just flew out of the rack, because people who are, because they also talk a lot about comfort innerwear, right? And intimate hygiene just goes with it. While I had said right in the beginning that I am a grooming brand, I am not going to do just a single product, but here I made an exception because it made sense with this brand. Okay, this is something very interesting. We don't sell tattoo products anymore, but tattoo oils and tattoo lotion is something that we were doing for about a year. And very soon we realized that the product is amazing, but बिक नहीं रहा है. ना website पे कोई खरीद रहा है, ना Amazon पे कोई जाके खरीद रहा है, right? And there was a tattoo enthusiast in our office, and we sat and we brainstormed कि यार क्या करें? What do we do? How do we sell this? And we spoke to a lot of people who actually have tattoos. So my husband has a tattoo. We spoke to a lot of people who have tattoos, asking them ki, what is the best place to approach you in order to sell this product to you? They're like, the tattoo artist. Definitely. It's like a doctor, right? The doctor tells you ki, acha, tabit kharab hai, ye dawai kalo, you're not going to question. The tattoo artist will tell me ki, ye product lagana, banane ke baad or whatever. I'm not going to question it. If I'm going to spend 40,000 for a tattoo, then obviously I'm going to spend another couple of grand for a product. Na, big deal. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go to tattoo parlors pan India and start talking to them about our product and see what we can do together, because it's a very, very niche market, but it's absolutely in my TG. But in my TG also, I'm trying to create a special segment who have a very different kind of persona. So psychographically, they must be different, but the intent and the mood that I wanted to create was absolute celebration and blast and fun. And that's why we called it that every tattoo has a story. And we created this whole huge ass campaign on social media. This is just one example here, but we went and spoke to every big tattoo parlors pan India, saying that ye hamara product hai, what can we do together? So this was something that we kept on doing for like a year long. Okay. Moving on. These are some of the other brands that is worth mentioning. So Soxo is something that is still in the works, but for the love of Sharad, I am sharing it here. It's still not out there. So Soxo ke saath mein, Soxo makes beautiful socks, right? And that's not my capability at all, but isn't that something that would be amazing if with every purchase of mine, somebody get it as a gift? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Right? So we spoke to them, and then we are actually co-curating a set of socks which has got a beard images on the socks. So this is a beautiful partnership of their expertise, because socks making is not my expertise. Designing, yes, designing is their expertise as well. So we are going to come up with that very soon. With Jaguar, it was actually pretty straightforward. So Jaguar were looking to have gift boxes. So Jaguar was celebrating their anniversary. Okay. Let's start there. And they wanted gift boxes to be sent to like thousands of their employees, right? And we contacted them because we knew it was their anniversary, right? And most of their workforce is male. So we said, how about we make a gift box for you? And then you can send it or give it to everybody, because वैसे भी किसी ना किसी को तो approach करोगे ही, right? And here I can give you a discount. So it was that pretty straightforward collaboration. So no extra frills. Arundamore whiskey is something that is pretty recent. So with whiskey drinkers, I mean, I'm a whiskey drinker, but still it's mostly male who are whiskey drinkers, right? Ranthambore is, you should see the packaging. It is brilliant. It is so beautiful. So what we did was that with every whiskey, generally what you get is a glass, right? Or with wine, you get a wine glass free. With whiskey, when you buy it, you're gonna get 2 products of mine at a discounted price. Along with it, it's a package deal, and the packaging of this extra product is exactly the same design of a Ranthambore whiskey design, right? So that all of it together looks really like one big thing. So a guy buys this, goes home, he's like, "Arey, I got this also at a very, very discounted price," and uske andar mein he gets a deodorant, he gets a face wash. With Look Salon, we did something very interesting for Women's Day. So again, we made a lot of efforts right before Zivame. Zivame was much later in life that happened. During Women's Day, we wanted to get women to buy my product. So this was one activity that we did with Look Salon, because Look Salon anyway used to put up, small spa kind, non-watery services in the mall. So we went to Look Salon with this proposition, because we anyway had a tie-up with them. So we went with the proposition that during Women's Day, when you're doing this, right, can we also come on board and make it even larger? Can we cover it, and we can talk about our products also in it, and we'll use our social media by creating really nice packaged video on social media saying that how a women's brand and a men's brand have come together to celebrate Women's Day. Let's make a big deal out of it and use free earned media, use PR to that leverage. With so that's what looks around with Flying Machine. What we understood was at that moment of time, offline was, we were still working in offline, still getting into it, and Flying Machine had anyway beautiful stores pan India, right? So what we told Flying Machine that whenever somebody comes to Flying Machine and buys products more than worth X, I don't really remember the number, but I think it was pretty good, like 10,000, 15,000 bucks. They will get a small kit of mine, free of cost. So they're like, okay, you're going to encourage people to buy more from me? I'm like, yeah, that is the deal, right? Because 15,000 के खरीदेंगे तब जाके तो मुझे पाएंगे. So again, they're like, हाँ ठीक है, of course, मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि लोग आके Flying Machine में पैसे उड़ाएं. Why would they say no for that, right? So we're like, okay, great, let's do this. So we got some influencers also. They got some influencers also, which they anyway do. All they had to do was tell the influencer that, buy products worth rupees itna, and then you get even this kit free. And we are masters at making kits, like you must have seen by now. So we made like a pretty small cute kit with Flying Machine ka logo in it, with my logo in it, and we came up with a beautiful collaboration ka naam, and we put like miniature products in it, and we did a lot of social media push for them, ki buy products X and then you get this free. So this was a limited period deal. This wasn't a long term because we didn't know how it's gonna pan out. But yeah, so this is what we did with Flying Machine. So I guess this brings me to the end of first section. I rushed through so much. Okay. Yes, Prachi.
Hi, Rumi. Really enjoying the session and your kind of witty insights and playful attitude. I had a question about some of these, like with Flying Machine, and with another one you said that face wash was free for 349. With Flying Machine, 15,000 ke upar was free. So how does it work in terms of commercials? In the sense, do you guys work with the brand such that aapka cost nikal jata hai, or do you do it for free for earned media? How does that? Because we also have thought of similar things, but not really sure how to go about it.
Okay, so it's not ever about giving stuff away for free, unless it's a Xiaomi. Then it's different, because then you want something else from them, right? But most of the time we do a fair calculation of कि अगर मुझे अपने social media पे post डालना है, what would that cost me in my head if I had to put a rate card to it? And then in turn, what do I want from them? So a lot of times we have said no to things also, to some brands who said that, listen, I can't give you space on my website, but I want everything from you. I want, मुझे space भी चाहिए, मुझे mailer भी चाहिए, मुझे push भी चाहिए, SMS भी चाहिए. You say no because you are doing a mental calculation कि अगर ये हर एक चीज का अगर मुझे rate card बनाना होता तो मेरे तो यार 1 लाख रुपए जा रहे हैं, पर मुझे उनके सामने से क्या मिल रहा है, right? Sometimes you do make an exception. Okay, having said all of this, you do make an exception because sometimes you just want to be seen in a certain place. I want to be seen at a Flying Machine store. I want to be seen where possibly a Jaguar is, right? So I am ready to make that exception. But even all of this is nothing is free, right? मतलब चीजें ऐसी देने लगूंगी लोगों को तो फिर कैसे ही होगा, है ना? We have to get equal things back also, but the proposition has to be strong. What I want to you to take away from all of this, that each one of them are very unique collaboration with very unique problem that we solved for somebody, right? Opportunistic ही बुला लो यार मेरे को. पता है कि जैगवार का या किसी का अगर एनिवर्सरी आ रहा है, तुमको पता है कि वो किसी ना कुछ तो गिफ्ट करेगा, right? So be on a lookout of that, correct? And then go and solve the problem before they even realize कि अच्छा it's going to become a problem.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
So I think वो उस तरीके से, that's why I keep saying थोड़ा street smart तो होना पड़ता है ये सब चीजों के लिए in order to crack it. And why won't bigger companies like their problem to be gone without wasting a lot of their time, because they don't have time. None of them do. So
Right.
if you come there and you're like, you solve their problem, they'll be more than happy. "Haan, theek hai, jao.
Yeah.
Please away from me. I don't want this problem in my head because I've got 100 other things to prepare. Maybe a board meeting coming up." Okay.
Right, right. So, I mean, just going back to those two specific examples with Jaguar, I could see how you guys thought in advance they're anyways going to approach somebody for gifting. You solved it for them, gave them a discount, worked out. For Flying Machine, when you said that, okay, 15,000 you buy from Flying Machine and I'll give you my product for free, then what did you get in return?
I gave my miniature products.
Right.
I did not give my actual SKU. Okay. It was miniatures. And of those products where I've got high margin as well. Okay.
Right.
So I was being smart about that. Though I want to be seen in stores of Flying Machine, but in the process, I can't kill myself. Right.
Okay, got it.
So yes, Rumi, let's move to the next slide.
Yes.
Awesome. So I think we have one activity planned, and this is also because of those assignments which we shared with all of you to sort of tell about your brand collaboration experiences. And because me and Rumi were discussing is how do we make this, a lot of this learning can only happen by doing. So let's give some activity time to do. So a lot of you sort of shared interest within the cohort of certain brands you might want to collaborate with, right? So we sort of aggregated those responses. You tried to make matches, and we actually came up with 4 or 5 matches. So if you go to the next screen, we are thinking of an activity right now, which will just very quick, 15 minutes. We'll put you in a breakout room. So these are the 4 brands which we matched, right? And some brands were pretty popular, so they matched with 2 people. So room 1 has 3 brands together. Now, in this activity, those people who are not from these brands can choose the room to be joining one of those brands to listen in and be part of the conversation. Okay. But our next activity is let's sort of crack a deal, or let's start brainstorming on mutual collaboration opportunities within the cohort. And we want to structure this. So again, because in the interest of time, we're only going to box it for 15 minutes. And this is how we're going to run it. So if you go to the next slide, Rumi, yeah. We're going to, so again, choose an open room. By now, if you're not already one of those brands, choose the room which you want to sort of be in. It might be in your sector, it might be in your category. Brainstorm on your open ideas. Before you contribute, also take 1-2 minutes to sort of think about what you want to share, right? Because a lot of those ideas first you want to introspect and then be able to contribute. And within your room, let the brand owners who are sort of discussing, fight it out to sort of decide if there's a collaboration opportunity or not. And then we're going to pick you guys back up, and then we're going to discuss which is the winner, and then Rumi will sort of help us flush through how such a relationship would work, right? So thumbs up. Is the process clear for 15 minutes? What's true? Yeah. Okay. Trust me, this is most learning friendly. So I think this is where we sort of unlock new ideas. So in the next slide, I'm going to open up the rooms. So just remember, no time limit. We'll have some messages coming in, and I'm going to open up the rooms. In the next slide, Rumi. Okay, thank you. So 4 rooms are opening right now. Room 1 again is Mikololo, Baby Burp, and Earth Baby. Room 2 is Fool and Country Bean. Room 3 is Yoga and Desi Toys, and room 4 is Shop Bloom and Myriad Activewear. Right. Now
all you guys have swiped right on for each other, by the way.
Yes.
So that's a good. And let's start from there.
So I think I'm opening up the room right now, and see you guys in each of those rooms. So I hope people are getting a choice to choose whichever room they want. Just jump in the room which you feel is right for you. I hope by now people have chosen whichever room they want to be in. So you can also be part of the discussion to help them brainstorm. But yeah.
I haven't received.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
You should be getting, or I can assign you. You can tell me which room you want to be.
Sharad, I'm not able to join. How do we join the room?
Well, actually, you get an option to choose whichever room you want to join in.
I didn't receive one.
It's not happening.
Okay, wait.
Oh, actually, I can see the option on breakout rooms. I have to click that and then I can join.
Yeah, choose the room and then you can choose also. I'll also share my screen so you can choose which room you want to join. So if you see my screen, these are the options.
Yeah, but where do we select it
from?
But how do you join the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not getting the option to join the room.
Okay.
Hi, Sharat. Sorry.
One by
what
one,
is
one by one. Raise hands.
what is
Raise
room
hands.
for?
I'll put you in the room you want. So raise hands and then tell me which room you want. I'll put you in. Don't worry. Okay, yes. So Sanjana, which room?
Room number 4.
Okay, let's see. Sanjana, I'll assign to room 4. Cool. Who's next?
Hi, Sharat. Can you show me what is room for? I can only see 3
Shop
here.
Bloom, Shop Bloom and Myriad Activewear.
Okay, can you please put me there?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
Thank you.
Sharat, put me in room 2, please.
Yeah, one by one. No, give me a second. I'll lose track.
I'll do it.
Perfect. Amar, room 2, no?
Yeah. Thank you.
What's your name? I think you've already been assigned. Okay, give me a second. Let me check. Tanya, which one? You want to join?
Room 4, please.
Room 4.
Sharat, I think Desi Toys and Games is not here today. So I think room 3 any which ways is not.
Room 3 is not happening. You want me to add you, Navya, to room 3?
No, I did go there, but me and Sonam are already in talks of collaborations.
So you can do that live. Anyways, you can put it in the room and then come back. We'll ask you guys, what are you thinking? That's also okay.
No, I think we just go join some other room instead.
Yeah, so then you can join. I can move also Sonam to another room then. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think she's the only one.
Yeah.
He's also left that room. There's nobody in there.
Perfect.
Sharat, can you put me in room 2, please?
Room 2, let's see.
Thank you.
Hi, Rumi. How is the breakout? Great, or you were jumping in each of them and helping them think through that also.
One room that was empty. I don't know why.
No, actually, one room में क्या हुआ? जो दो main जो दो people है उसमें से एक जन आया है, एक जन नहीं आया है. So then the problem was कि then other people didn't join, but then I think everyone else moved to other. And I also
there's interesting conversations actually going on in room 1 and room 4. I think there's some very interesting discussion that is happening, and I think they all are coming to some sort of a conclusion.
Is being recorded.
Yeah, so awesome. Welcome back, everyone. If you have to complain about less time, my apologies, but that's the idea of time boxing.
Mine too. I think I took way too much time in the beginning. I'm really sorry for that.
But the idea of time boxing was to, sort of get it started. One of those, I was discussing with Rumi, one of those things which we did not anticipate is it also created a lot of opportunity for people to sort of talk further on evaluating new collaboration opportunities, which might not have directly matched, but I think now you get a chance to do that also. That being said, Rumi, take over. You want to ask people, so what was interesting in your collab, and then Rumi, please lead how you want to do it.
I would love to talk to room number 1, which is the kids clothing brand, baby food, Paper and Earth Pepe. Let's have them. So what was that one idea that all of you guys came up with?
I think there were a lot of multiple ideas. Just please go ahead.
Yeah, maybe Jiten, then Bharat maybe, and then I think everyone.
Yeah, so even Rumi had come in at that point. We were looking at ways how we could use content, build content, by collaborating with each other, and that's something that would excite our customers.
Awesome. I think Rumi, if you want to raise, you can lead this also. But I think Akanksha also was in the room, so she also has something to share. Yes, Akanksha.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, other than the 3 brands that matched, we also had a couple of others where the synergies kind of matched, and all of us could come together to make the community. So it's not just the 3 brands. We also had two or three more brands who were in a sort of similar space, which were non-clashing with our product, but also the same TG. So that really helps, to sort of bring different ideas together and make a whole parenting sort of community.
Yep. Is there somebody here from Babe Burp?
Yes. Hi, Rumi. Yeah, actually, we came to the agreement where that we may have a coupon that can be generated for each other brand, and so we can like for the skincare brands for a mother, providing a delicious food and healthy food to a baby is as important as having a very good skin and skincare for their baby. So the synergies and the target audience is the same. So we are thinking on the same line that maybe we can have a expert session who can address the mothers, that how can both can be synchronized and they can ask their questions, and the mothers can get the proper solution for any of the questions they have. So we are thinking on the same line.
Great. So to all three of you, my thing would be, don't make this a one-off activity. Do not underestimate the power of good content. Okay, good verified content. Don't underestimate the power of that. Right. So build a platform together where all of you are contributing, not just through blogs, through experts, through live sessions, through great educational videos, right? And this is something that is in the works for us also. Right. So we are trying to do this on YouTube a lot, where we are not just talking about grooming, but we also talk about how to put the look together when you're going for a date, how to put a look together top to bottom, right? So hairstyling for us, clothes, belt, shoes, cufflinks, tie, everything. So whole look, right? So that elevates the lifestyle of the person. Here you're talking to the mothers, where rightly I think Bharat said that it's the skincare, the baby food, the clothing, everything works beautifully well. And you guys have similar TG, right? But the aspects are so different, but it's so wholesome in bringing up a baby, right? So don't just stop at doing one off live session, okay? Build this content platform together through text, through visuals, through getting a great expert panel, so that whenever mother has a question, she knows that this is one platform where I can go and get my answers sorted, no matter I've got a skincare question to ask, or whether I've got a clothing question to ask, कि winter का time आ गया, बच्चे को क्या पहनाना है, or what is the fabric that I should go for, right? Create a robust calendar like that. Be seasonal, be topical, and I think this content will really drive your products very well for all of you. I really believe so.
Awesome, Rumi. You want to now take the next room? How are you? Yes.
Yeah, there was some interesting conversation going on with Shopbloom and Myriad Activewear.
So yes, from room 4, Shopbloom, Myriad Activewear wants to raise hands. Love to hear what.
So I think we will maybe do a photo shoot together, or do something on our Instagram, or a code. We haven't decided, but we will discuss. I think we can definitely make this work, since the synergies match, and I do nightwear and she does activewear. So our target audience is pretty much the same.
I think the lady from Baggett had a beautiful idea. If I forget her name right now.
Hey, Mahua. Hi.
Yes, now you share idea. Yeah, please.
It's a simple thing, late at night I scroll through Instagram, right? Which when I'm brain dead. So when I'm scrolling through Instagram, lots of times I've seen the mother and the kid dressed in the same clothing, same shoes, same bag, same jacket, very cool clothing, both of them, and they look so cute. These is I see father and son as well, of doing that. So that's very Instagrammable, and I think one of the brands has a kids TG, right? And one of them is is just the mother's brand. So if you could, this is about, like Rumi said, a complement and a supplementary target audience, another target audience. So if you could do the tie-up over there, where you're making the mother's clothes and the kids' clothes, and you make exactly the same outfit. Yeah, you make exactly the same outfit. So it's a miniature of the adult clothing. And you shoot both of them, so it becomes very Instagrammable. It looks very cute to see the mother and the kid dressed exactly like that. And then you keep, and anybody can buy it and can put up their pictures. You can make it into I think it can get into a viral and a cool thing and generate a lot of demand. And apart from just because you like to wear something like that.
It's more of a twinning concept.
Yes, twinning concept.
So yeah. I feel like mothers also would be willing to spend anything on their child, for their comfort and for their sort of, self gratification that, we both are wearing the same thing. It's not husband-wife twinning always. It's about the child's, importance, the child's love as well with the outfit with their mother. So
yeah,
that's a great idea.
I think for both of you, for Myriad and for Shopbloom, you need to create, like Mawa rightly said, I think your power lies in the Instagrammable content, whether it is pictures or whether it is reels. I think that's where you should be. Try and come up with like package deal, sort of. Create combos because you both are very complementary. While at the same time, one is a sleep and a loungewear, while the other one is an activewear, like a daytime and a nighttime, right? But together, it's very wholesome in that way. The circle gets completed very beautifully, right? So Instagram, right? Instagrammable content, whether it is text or videos or reels, pick up the power of that. Do a beautiful photo shoot
I
together.
feel like mom influencers
Mothers,
as well, like mom influencers play a very big role in this because they're very influencing to their target audience and their followers. So and
of you, I think, keep mother as the focus to get entry into the house. Because if you keep that as your focus, then you will also get men into the picture. वो आ जाएंगे, right? But keep mothers as your focus. And अगर mother के through अगर उस घर में entry मिल गई, तो बच्चा तो वही पहनेगा जो माँ लाके देगी, and then उन दोनों को देख के the father will also come into the fold. But keep
and then
mother as
maybe
your
for men's well later, like it's more of a a domino effect. I feel like applying to a full lifestyle and a full family rather than just one category for a point.
Yep, absolutely. I think you guys should do a kick-ass cute photo shoot together and create some complementary product bundling together. And I think that should work for both of you beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rumi, I think we want to ask the room two, Fool and Country Bean, what happened? I think I noticed a lot of other good discussion and collaboration also happened there.
I went there and I got confused what was the topic, and then I left from there.
Yes,
I didn't know what discussion was happening.
So Aishwarya,
Unfortunately, I think nobody could join from Fool. So everybody else was also like talking about other collaborations.
Very interested in knowing that why did they swipe right? Because to me, it was like opposite attract sort of a situation where Fool wants to collaborate with Coffee. But ठीक है, कोई नहीं. If Fool people are not
last year also we did come up with a holy sale, and we also have beautiful gift boxes because coffee is a great gifting item. So we always try and put some add-ons depending on the occasions. For example, we did a free Rakhi during Rakhi. We did a free magnet during Valentine's, fridge magnets, and a personalized video message. So with Fool, we wanted to collaborate and do something together during Diwali because they also have very Indianized products, and the feel that they have, the branding that they have, it's very Indian. So like audience,
it's very rooted, it's very earthy.
And somehow we want to target that audience because we have a different kind of audience. So we'll be leveraging on their target audience. And secondly, they have those earthy colors which they also launched the previous year, and they received a lot of traction on social media. So we wanted to include those colors in our gift boxes, or something if we could do on our website above an order value and leverage on the fact. So we were late to the party during Diwali, but we did not want to be late during Holi. So we did reach out to them. But I think this is the same person who has been a little busy and she's not been able to communicate.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's a wonderful idea because, doing any sort of a limited edition, different sort of a packaging design just gives a very fresh feel to that moment. And then the gifting also comes part of it, right? Because coffee is a great gifting item, right? And so is the products of food, which is so organic, right? And doing a box together, which is like a gifting box with a holy feel to it, or a Diwali feel to it, or a Christmas feel to it, or changing each other's labels, packaging labels, and coming together so that when you open the dabba, they all look like a part of the same deal. Even that's a beautiful idea because that is something that we did with Rantham board, the example that I was giving you earlier, right? And I think that's a wonderful idea, and I hope you crack it with food. I think it'll be brilliant as a limited edition gifting item. If you both can list it on your apps or website, I think it could work.
Okay, great. Hope to do that soon.
Perfect. Angad has his hand. Angad from Sepoy and Company. Yeah.
Hi. First of all, thank you for such an interesting session. While Fool couldn't get part of the conversation, we as a group had very interesting conversations, and I feel like a multi-brand collaboration is something that is so possible here because there were such unique concepts that were coming in. All the way from like a outer box from Sirohi, that uses sustainable material that could be continued to reuse, within inside like some of our mixers with a scented, fragrance, with somebody who does namkeen or snackable items, and somebody who does, like luxury clothing, sustainable luxury clothing, who could make like a bag or something, everything that could be used, consumed and reused. I think it was very interesting. So yeah, there's lots
So
to.
that means there is a synergy when it comes to your values as a brand, because I guess all of you are somewhere in the sustainability space. And there was a very interesting report that I read by, I think it was by Statista, which said that Gen Z and millennials, about 73% of them, they fall in love with a brand who do good for the environment, who are sustainable, right? So imagine the power of sustainability that Gen Z and millennials actually put on a brand. The love just comes out. The products will happen. Okay, वो हो जाता है. Brand से प्यार पहले होना चाहिए, right? And all of us, if you have the same theme of being a brand who is socially, environmentally conscious, I think that's your bullseye, and that's the thread that will attach everybody. I think that's
sorry,
great.
I'm just coming in. I'll put just one line. I'm sorry, speaking out of turn, but we at Baggett would love to collaborate with this cohort if it's about sustainability. Yeah.
Awesome.
So please add us in. Yeah.
No, and by the way, Angad, thanks for sharing. I mean, it's really fascinating because we had anticipated only one conversation, but loved seeing multiple conversations and how actually could join together. So thanks for sharing that.
And different people are talking to different people, and I'm just sitting there thinking how one box, and it's not limited to a Holi or a Diwali. I mean, if you put this on your website for a year-long thing,
agnostic, right? You don't limit yourself to that at all, because you can build so much beautiful content of being a socially conscious brand, and a brand who has just started but who is so powerful in their idea of being good and doing good, and you want other people to also join hands. And if you get an NGO also to partner with you, and all of you contribute a certain amount of money which actually goes in planting trees, or any of that aspect, why won't somebody just pay another 1 rupee or 2 rupees for that? So then कि अच्छा ठीक है, ये पैसा मेरा कहीं जा रहा है, and पेड़ लग रहे हैं, चाहे वो दिखे ना दिखे. But you guys, if you are able to establish yourself together as a sustainable conglomerate sort, and if you are doing that part as well of planting trees or whatever it may be, right? It's just one example. Even that could help.
Rumi, we have 2-3 more questions. You should take them. Yeah, and then we'll come back to the last slide from concluding. Sounds good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ramya, then Gaurav, yeah.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Rumi. So at Kalanika, which is my brand, we are into hand-woven saris. Completely only handloom saris. We do not want to make any saris from the machine as such. So I was in room number 1. I was listening to the others as such when they're talking about baby-related products as such. And I always feel that sometimes we have a tendency to ignore the mother when the baby comes in, right? And when we're looking at gifting, can we look at the baby as well as the mother, which is your sari, right? You can also put sari in as a gifting option along with the baby related products. So that's something that I was looking at. And I think as I think Angad spoke from Sepoy, a multi-brand collaboration as such, where we're talking about sustainability, because if your sari is hand woven, you are not completely, but at least you are a sustainable brand. You're not using up water. You're not using up machine electricity. So from a multi-brand point of view, also I could resonate with brand room number 1. I was hoping to connect with somebody from Fool, because again, that's also handmade, right? The handmade. So any brand that creates their items which are handmade, I would love to associate with them. And would that be something that you can resonate with, Rumi?
Broaden your horizon a little bit. Is there any brand over here who only cater to men? Is there anyone here except TMC, obviously? Is there anyone else?
You might have to unmute yourself and just instead of raise hand, because I'll not know. Yeah, Sabha, Sanjana Designs. Yeah, Sanjana?
Yeah. Hi, Rumi. Interesting session. We don't just cater to men, but we have so we are a jewelry brand, accessory brand for both men and women, but we have equal amount or maybe a little more number of products in men's category. So
okay.
yeah, and it's affordable.
What I was coming to, that if you guys have got major customer database for men, then what can happen is that both of you can collaborate with each other in a way that you can open up the horizon of men during Mother's Day, during Rakhi, during Women's Day, which is catering to female, and then collaborate with some sort of a social media campaign together or a mailer campaign together, where you tell men to gift hand woven saris this Women's Day to show her, the love, and plus you'll be doing good also. So maybe that sort of a collaboration, very, very occasion led, is something that can work, I think, beautifully, because men get supremely confused when it comes to days like this, and to what to give to women. No idea. But here is a beautiful idea, hand woven saris. Why would the women not like it? Right. So I think that is something that you guys can do. And in order to keep it occasion agnostic, maybe you can send some mailers out during, for just instigating the men that when if it's a birthday coming up or an anniversary coming up, here is something that is a ready example of what you can give to the women in your life. Maybe that is something that you both can partner with each other and leverage each other's customers database.
So, I think last Gaurav, one question, then Rumi move to the last slide to sort of get metrics. Yes. Yeah.
Thanks. Hi, it's not a question, just wanted to share. So when you'd asked for pairing ups, generally we are a very conceptual label, so I'm unable to find many people in India who we collaborate. In fact, we don't. And one of the things you shared where people take money, so we are one of those who actually charge money. And we've done a lot of international.
Hakaru into, if you could.
We're into clothing. So I'm a designer. We're a mainstream fashion brand, and we're one of the early brands who started this whole concept of hand wovens and all that in India. But what I wanted to share with all of you is totally different. So when the pairings came up, I'd noticed Fool, and there was a project we were working on pre-COVID where, so Fool, basically what they talk about is in their marketing is that they use a lot of temple waste flowers from which they create the products. And we've been working on textiles where, you take that waste and then it gets dried up. And then from there we make color. So that was something why I'd actually ticked Fool in that. And their branding is pretty catchy in terms of even if someone like me can notice the branding, because when you operate in luxury, you totally think from there's a certain snob value in brands. So we're actually one of those, fortunately, unfortunately, but I found it to be very strong. And so that was my reason why I ticked it. And I think that was very, very interesting, but yeah, I couldn't find them in the session.
Yeah, two things I also want to just jump in. Sorry, Rumi, just to share, you might find many brands in the cohort and what 1, 2 you want to collaborate with. We are coming up with something like a member directory. So you can reach out to individually each of these people from the cohort to have your one-to-one conversation. I know this was a very short time capsule video, and I think there's a lot of demand for many brands which you want to sort of reach out to, and we'll sort of use that member directory to sort of open that conversation up to make it much more easy or open. Yeah, and Rumi, please jump in.
One thought for Gaurav: if you are able to reach to Fool, I think there is a beautiful, story that you can build in terms of a catching video. Where somebody is actually collecting those flowers, how it goes to the factory, what happens, the colors, the whole journey, right, from where this actually comes from and what is the final material. That video can be so very powerful in order to drive the end product. I can totally imagine that video, and I think I would be blown away if I can actually see visually what you're talking about as a story.
Yeah. There are lots of ideas in the head. So
great. I think one last question from Aisha, and then we move to conclusion. Yes.
Hi. So basically, we are a dairy brand, and we deal with obviously stuff like paneer, dahi, but we also do premium ghee like A2 ghee. So I was just thinking to the cohort, there are enough people who are doing baby food and stuff for kids. So a lot of our A2 ghee is for kids, and it's very good for kids' health and even pregnant mothers. So I was wondering if there would be people open to thinking about a collab on that basis, because a lot of our ghee goes out for like the premium quality ghee goes for kids. The A2 ghee is like targeting kids and young children. So I was wondering if maybe we could work out something on that front. I don't know if I'm not sure if that's a great idea, but like I'm just trying to work out how something like that could work. I'm not sure.
No, so two things. I think, I think one really more efficient way is, I think from Rumi's learning is identify people in the cohort you think would be a right fit and pitch that idea to them, right? Plant that idea in their brain. Think of this as a broadcast. It might not directly get you result, but when you figure out one person, you know their company, you planted their idea in their brain, chances of you actually being fruitful in a collaboration magnify tenfold, right? So I would definitely highly recommend that. Okay, that's really.
I would just say that just be very clear in your mind what is the problem that you're solving. I'm sorry, but maybe I'm not clear right now. But if you're approaching them, be very clear what is that one gap that they have which you think you can come in between and solve. Otherwise, this will become just another collaboration that may not lead to anything, right? But you need to find that thread that you want to pull.
All right, thank you. That helps.
Yes, Rumi, I think we want to do also the measurement metrics would be great, just like one slide.
Yes.
Yes. Just so that we can get them to remember how do you measure on things like
Right. Okay. Yes. So, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I think.
You want me to share the screen?
Yeah. Could you?
Yeah. Perfect. Right now.
Great. So these are some of the things that we keep in mind while doing any collaboration. This may not be true for you, but this is true for me at TMC. Every time I do a collaboration, I try and come up with a unique hashtag for the collaboration, because once you have that and you keep using that on whether on Instagram as a caption, then you are able to track the mentions that you are getting on Instagram much easier. So whenever you're doing a collaboration together, also, Jesse for Shami, your salon at home was actually a hashtag, right? So similarly, with each of the collaboration, there's always a unique hashtag. Never forget to put your name in it somewhere. So TMC, your salon at home, right? So, and be very clear that it's a unique hashtag, because otherwise a lot of times it happens that the hashtag has been already used, so your measurement goes out of whack. Right. 2.5 ROAS is something that is a good space to start. A lot of times we have reached even 4, which is pretty brilliant, but it's pretty exceptional. So that's why I'm not keeping that as a benchmark. But I think 2.5 sort of a ROAS is actually pretty good space to start from. I know a lot of you are not doing PR, but trust me, PR helps, right? Approaching the big journalists might be a little difficult for some of you, but try starting and building that relationship with the smaller ones, smaller magazines, smaller regional vernacular magazines, newspapers, because free earned media can get you what your dollars will never get you, right? At TMC, we do have a PR agency, but even before that, when we didn't, I used to go and approach different journalists and pitch them, you know what, this is what we are doing and what do you think about it. And if they find it interesting, then they give us a small feature, right? Sometimes what happens is that use your network really well, because किसी ना किसी को तो कोई ना कोई journalist पता होगा ना, right? So don't underestimate the power of that, and don't think PR तो यार ठीक है होता रहेगा. Don't do that. Free earned media can get you so much eyeballs. Monetizing the social media following, either way, when I mean, if A has got 20 followers, that is unique. B has got 20 followers, that is unique. Together you has 40, right? Can you imagine? सीधा आप 2x पहुंच गए, करेक्ट? सो एक दूसरे के सोशल मीडिया पे जितना हो सके उतना ज्यादा कोलैबोरेट करो. Use trending music on Instagram if you're doing that, on reels, because Instagram is something that is really trying to push reels more than your post, right? So as a brand strategy, also we have completely shifted our focus to being reels and using the trending reels a lot, because that helps more than your Facebook ads and pushing money behind that. Don't do that. If you don't have the money for it, don't do it. Okay. You create a sort of a rate card in your head of all your owned assets. Okay, your website main banner is a great owned asset. Your mailers that goes out, your customer database is a great owned asset. SMS push notification, right? But when you're doing all of this, make sure that you're getting the same thing in return as well. Okay. These are some of the things that we ask from each other to build each other, because you might think कि मेरे पास 2000 followers है, but सामने वाले के पास अगर 2000 तो मिलके 4000 बन जाते हैं. Correct. So that really helps. Use Instagram stories to keep creating that, tailwind, a good tailwind for yourself. So whether it is polls, whether it is competitions, there are so many different things that Insta stories give you. Go see all of that and leverage it. One thing that I would say, that something that we have been doing is catching on to what is trendy, but don't be blind about it. सब चीजें जो trend कर रही है does not mean it makes sense for your brand. Okay, but if something is trending on Twitter, right, and you can make a contextual content to something that is trending, then it helps so much, because you are catching something that is already flying, right? Then you're just catching it by its tail. But you have to be quick and you have to be agile. So your communication, what you put out there through collaborations, also create content which catches that trend. So keep an eye on that. So I think these would be some of the win-win situation that I can think of. I'm sure there are many more, but this would be my takeaway for you guys. Sharad, you're on mute.
Sorry, any one last question we can take? If Deepa raised a hand or someone wants to ask, or very quick. Yes.
Yeah, sure. I just want to understand, what is the context of ROAS in the previous slide? Like,
so ROAS is return on your advertising spent.
No,
I spend it, I get okay.
No, with respect to a collaboration, you should track that metric to the campaign.
Collaboration, right? If it's a paid collaboration, so say I am spending, if I am giving money, or say if I'm giving my own assets and I have got a rate card in my head कि मैंने जो इतना दिया है, अगर ये मैं बेचती तो शायद मैं 50,000 में बेचती. So that means सामने वाले से मुझे उसका कम से कम 2.5 गुना चाहिए. Right? So but you have to be intelligent enough in asking in return, because the other person cannot feel that I am being, I am being lynched, for the lack of a better word, right? So then you pitch it in a certain way that it becomes more palatable, right? So that's what I mean by that. So it's not only when you're paying money, but also in terms of the adla badli of the assets that you are, exchanging with each other.
Basically, put a value to your assets and then see if it can be matched out as.
Always put a value to your assets. Otherwise, it just become an andha kuआं, right? कि पता ही नहीं कि हम दे रहे कि उसका मतलब क्या है.
Very well. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So first 2-3 things I want to just summarize for today's session. One is, like Rumi has really stressed and doubled on the point, is collaboration is actually entering into a relationship. It might start with dating, but please spend time understanding who's the right match, trying to talk with them, figuring out where there's a problem, trying to sort of address that. Collaboration is also about exchanging mutual audiences, right? Or adding complementary audiences, right? So which you've discovered in the cohort, there are many mutual audiences which you could work with, or even try out new complementary audiences which you're not reaching out to, where this might be open with. And more than that, think of it also more than an ROS or a performance. Also think it's like a branding or a PR exercise for you to sort of get your word out. 2-3 things I always discuss with Rumi is it's very hard to teach something like this, right? And first, Rumi, with an exercise like this, sort of helps you break down the framework to think, okay, how should you go about approaching it? So I hope that stood out. And that being said, Rumi, first, thank you so much for doing this. It was really, really insightful and relevant for all of us in the program.
I really hope that, all of you are a little less scared of doing collaborations. Before you reach out to external parties who are not on this call right now, start here, right? Look at all of you. All of you have got beautiful products, which has got great synergies. I'm sure there is common threads right here in this room, right? Start there, learn from the mistakes. All of you will learn from the mistakes, and then you will probably be better weaponized when you are going outside this cohort and approaching other people, because then you'll have examples to give and you won't say I'm a rookie, because you will have great examples. ये मैंने कर रखा है, let's start now. इसके आगे अब हम और क्या कर सकते हैं?
Okay, perfect. So Rumi, we have a way of saying thank you to you. So the way it works is everyone mutes themselves. No, we're going to say thank you to you right now as we play our little background music, which is sort of our practice. Sorry, this one. I don't know, my audio is clear. Everyone unmute themselves, turn on their video, and Rumi can join us. What we do is we put our hands in front. So Rumi, you want to join us? We put our hands in front and we do a countdown between 3, 2, 1, and then we end with go team. Okay? So ready? Okay. Everyone's unmuted. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Go team. Go team. Go team. Go team, everyone. Thank you so much, Rumi.